All right. Man, we getting ready to kick this thing off, man. I'm super excited. Man, you tuned in to the Queen's Corner, the Watson Associates collab. We're getting ready to touch a lot of great concepts, a lot of great information. Man, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here.
Yes, ma'am.
It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. You're going to educate us.
Yes, ma'am.
Inform us on how to not only obtain wealth, but to actually leave a legacy for our children and our generation that's coming behind us. So it's going to be very important. So thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be live. Well, we are live already, but we're going to start our conversation here shortly. And I'm excited. I'm excited to hear all the amazing things that you're going to share with us. And it's going down.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, it's your praise break, baby. Praise break. Oh, I knew you could dance. I knew you had it in you. Yeah.
Hey.
All right, y'all get ready. We're going to have a good time this afternoon. It's hump day. And, yeah, we have some hump day hurdles. So this is one of our hump day hurdles.
Yes.
Alright, you guys are gonna dance on live, right? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Finish one. Hold on.
Did you press it? Miss Alicia, I don't know how to dance. And I'm like, you have to know how to dance. You from Nigeria.
Oh, man.
Everybody from Nigeria could dance.
Yeah, right. Don't let my cousins hear that. I can't dance.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. Welcome to your Noonday with Alicia Faye. I have live in the studio with us today, Mr. Christian Nwasu.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Did I pronounce that right?
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
All right, because I'm really wanting to be mindful of pronouncing your name correctly. From Nwasu and Associates.
That is correct.
So you are here today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for watching. I want you guys to do a couple things for us really quick. I want you to share the video. Tag your sister friends, your co-workers, your mama, your cousins, anybody that you know that needs some financial insight. So today we're going to be talking about finances and how not only to work for money, but how to make your money work for you and to leave a legacy for generations to come, even after you, right? Mm-hmm. I am so honored. I'm so happy that you're here with us. So let's just dive right in because this is an issue that a lot of people, right, not just a culture, but people in general have issues with. Mm-hmm. How do we save money? Even in this time, we've seen a lot of people who have lost jobs. Unemployment is on a rise, right? Mm-hmm. People are at home and things have just changed. Mm-hmm. And so now we're talking about restructuring, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, because this is definitely the time for us all to restructure things and to change our perspective and the narrative of how we think and handle money. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
When COVID hit, everybody, it wasn't just a sector of people, it was all people, a nation, a worldwide of people, a global pandemic that everybody was affected by, right? Mm-hmm. And so people, lives changed immediately, drastically. So I'm glad that you're here with us today because I want you to share with us in your expertise. This is what you do.
Yes, ma'am.
You are a financial advisor. You advise people on how to build muscle for their money, right? So introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
First and foremost, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Christian Nwasu. For those that don't know me, Christian Nwasu is my name. We're in the business of creating wealth. We're going to create that hashtag, the Wealth Advisor. And just to kind of tell you guys a little bit about myself, I actually got into the industry of helping people with their finances because I grew up in a 2-parent household and my parents made really, really good money, you guys. I mean, incredible money. But one of the things that we found out and that I found out and they found out is that it's not what you make, but it's what you save and what you invest. So, man, one of the things that kind of propelled me to get into this industry is, you know, I saw what my parents had and I saw the possibilities of what they could have had if they had the financial literacy and if they knew the right steps. So, man, I've made it a life's mission, man, to teach and educate everyone of how to build a long-term generational wealth, not just for now, but forever. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how we got started. And
I love that. I love that. And so even though you said I came from a 2-parent home and they did well, but you saw something that they could have done better.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Right. And I love that. Talk to us a little bit for those who are watching. So, you know, money, and you know, we talk about the Bible talks about it's not only the love of money, but we need money to sustain and to survive and to live and all those things. How are you teaching your clients, teaching our viewers who are watching, how to save? Like that is one of the hardest things that we find in today. Like how do we save when half the time you're working 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet? And I said earlier, half the time our ends not even meeting. It's kind of waving at each other because we can't even get those boys to meet. So how do we really start saving? How do we save money?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Well, the way that we save is, for starters, number one, it's about the vehicle. Yes, ma'am. Choosing the right vehicle, knowing the right vehicle.
I'm taking notes now.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Okay.
So choosing the right vehicle. So let me tell you what that means, choosing the right vehicle. If I were to ask you how long it takes to get to Dallas on average, how long would you say?
I think it's maybe 3 or 4 hours, right?
3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
Well, what if I told you it only took 45 minutes?
I would definitely want to take the 45-minute route.
See, you automatically assume we were talking about driving, right?
Absolutely.
But the vehicle that you choose is going to dictate how fast you get to the destination that you want to go to. And a lot of us have traditionally, what we've been taught about money is we need to save our money. We need to save our money. But let me let you in on a little secret that the wealthy know. You can save your money for 300 years and you'll never get to retirement. You have to be investing your money. That is the only way that you're going to ever even be in a potential to have a fighting shot at being able to become, I won't even say retire, but to becoming financially independent. You have to be investing your money, long-term investments. And that's some of the things that our programs teach is those type of vehicles that will allow your money to work for you.
I love that kind of vehicle.
Ma'am.
And you know what? Earlier when I did a little short post about you coming on, I saw one of my, she was a hairstylist in Louisiana, and we kind of like chatted really quick. That's one of the things, like when you make cash money, because I was a hairstylist for 20 plus years.
Oh, wow.
And even though I made a lot of money, I did very well. However, I didn't have anybody telling me how to invest. Like my mom didn't know anything about investment because she was a single mom for many, many years until she married my stepfather, whom I love. And so she did it all by herself. So she didn't have that knowledge, right? Mm-hmm. So how could you tell us in part the wisdom that you have gained for us to take money and invest? Like how does that even look? I have friends, yes. Now I have friends and people that have investment groups. my husband and I have people that are in our family that's close to us that teached us about saving and investment and IRAs and all these things. But I didn't know that then. I learned it in the latter years, right? And so you telling us, how can we start? How much do we need? You know, when you think about investment, what is that? Are we investing in a stock market? Are we investing in real estate? Or like, what exactly, when you say invest, and how much does that take?
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you asked that. Well, there's a lot of different vehicles that you can use to invest.
Okay.
And I know some of the more lucrative would be along the lines of real estate, and also the stocks, bonds, mutual funds, Roth IRAs. But to be more specific, when we're talking about investment, we're talking about something as simple as setting aside maybe $50 to $100 a month inside of a Roth IRA. Now, watch this. I had a friend growing up that lived in my neighborhood, and I remember I went to her birthday party when I was maybe she was about 21 years old.
Okay.
And just out of curiosity, we're the same age, and I asked her. I said, "Hey, have you ever heard of a Roth IRA? Have you ever heard of a mutual fund?" And she said, "Oh yeah, my parents set that up when I was a kid, and they've been contributing to it every month since I was a kid." It's not the big discipline, you guys. It's the little bitty disciplines that add up over time. Did you know that if someone were all the way up to set $6,000 and max out a Roth IRA for their kid at 14 years old and never touched it again, put $6,000 inside that mutual fund, that kid would be a millionaire by the time they're at retirement.
Wow.
It's that simple. It's something very, very simple. It's just about having the discipline, knowing where the vehicle to put it in, and having the discipline to set it aside and let it grow and let that money work for you.
Wow. So, in all reality, I always, just learning from the people that has really came alongside Torrance and I and taught us these things, how to invest, how to save, emergency funds, and those things, right? And I'm grateful for all of them who have come alongside of us and taught us those things. But how do you start when it seems like I said early in the post, when you have more month than money? And a lot of times I notice that people will buy purses and bags and Jordan shoes. So instead of buying your baby, what you're saying to me, instead of buying that expensive bag, because it's one thing that I've learned, that I'd rather have money and a no-name brand bag than a name brand bag with no money, right? So basically, instead of buying the Jordans, no, we love Jordans, so please. But we're just saying, taking those, like prioritizing. And one thing that we've learned, Torrance and I have learned, is to make our money have an assignment. So instead of just going out and spending, and it causes you to be more frugal, right? Instead of buying name brand this, that, or things that you may not necessarily need, you want to first take out, like, we're going to designate this $100, or however much you said a month, $60 to $100, and we're going to put this aside to put in this IRA.
That's absolutely rule number one. Rule number one to building and accumulating any type of wealth is pay yourself first. The irony is, typically we pay everybody else first and then try to pay and invest in ourselves with whatever is left over at the end of the month. When before we pay anything, before you pay your house, your car, anything, you have to pay yourself first. Okay, because you're your most valuable asset. And man, without that asset, I mean, that's everything. You know what I mean? And number two is this. I think there's a myth and there's a stigma in our community about having a professional money manager. If your car breaks down, then most people have a mechanic